All right, so now it's time to begin making our tray using clay. And what was my paper template that served as a practice run is now going to act definitely as a stencil or a template, so it'll be helpful in that way. Now, I didn't do a great taping job of my paper template to begin with, so this will be easy to take apart. But you want to focus on separating the base wall, whatever shape your tray may be, for that base wall, and focusing on the side walls later. So I've rolled out a slab. It's nice and consistent and level. I used a aerosol can. For those of you at home, that will be helpful, something like that, in making your slab and trying to create a mock rolling pin. And then if you're in class, you're going to have materials to work with as well. Don't forget, you can use your paper clip or the toothpick provided in your kit to help you cut the clay. I prefer a unraveled paper clip for cutting. So now I'm officially separating the paper base from the paper side walls. And I don't have a huge slab, but it's just big enough where it will accommodate my heart-shaped base wall. And just, be mindful of any tape that's in the way. Okay. So now it's time to lay down the template onto my slab. Like I said, it barely fits. Keep those sidewalls handy. That'll be the next slab you make. It will involve those sidewalls. So I can see that my paper template barely fits, and I'm aware of what could be a strange edge or corner. So I'm trying to kind of be very smart about where I put my template. You can use a little water on the slab, just a little bit, so that your template doesn't shift around, doesn't slide, and so it stays put while cutting. And remember, my template is made out of cardstock that happens to be yellow. You can use cardstock at home. You can cut up old thin cardboard like an old cereal box, and that would work just as well too. So my template is now secure. I don't have to worry about it shifting or sliding around. And now it's time to officially cut. And my slab is level and consistent because I used the 2 wooden dowels or guide rods to help me make the slab. So here I begin cutting. I'm keeping my free hand on the paper template just to make sure it doesn't move. And any scraps you have, you're going to want to keep those. Now, I've got a curvy shape, so I won't be able to use a ruler like I just had in my hand. But if you've got a geometric shape for the base of your box, by all means, definitely use a ruler to get a nice clean cut. So I would place the ruler on top of my paper template. But in my case, I have a curvy shape all around for my heart, so a ruler would be rather pointless in my case. So I'm taking my bent paper clip and I'm just continuing to cut. Even if I have some wonky edges and it's not a nice, pretty cut, it's okay because we'll have a sidewall there kind of distracting from any strange edge. So basically nobody's really going to see it. So I'm almost done. And I've accumulated quite a few scraps. That clay will provide a second slab for me which will be used to cut sidewalls. So here is the base of my tray. Mine is heart-shaped. Yours might be a totally different shape. It should be. That variety will be good. And now it's time to create sidewalls. Also think about if you have an ugly side versus a pretty side, have the pretty side pointed up towards the ceiling, and the ugly side is already going to come into contact with the table and act as the bottom of the tray. So I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Now it's time to make the sidewalls.